wondered, where should I open a new store? Or where should I expand my business? This is Dr. Koohikamali, and with the help of Geographic Information System, GIS, I can help you to find out the best possible locations for your business growth. We are going to use a specific tool called Business Analyst Online, which you require to get a license for, or you can get a trial of that. I put the link below. We are going to look into the learning path to select a business site with competitive analysis, which is created by Fred Miller, and we are going to go through that. Also provide a link for this tutorial underneath. Now let's just get started. The goal of the exercise is to open a new retail home improvement center in Neapolis sample area. So the real interest is clear and we know what type of business we are going to expand. So these are the two things that are very clear for us. The store name Living in the Green Lane, or LITGL, will provide environmentally friendly products and service lines. So you as a location analytics manager or expert, you can use ArcGIS Business Analyst web app to help them compare the competitive environment. So we look at the surrounding area, and then also we find the right type of customers. So let's look into that. First thing you need to do, you need to log into ArcGIS Analyst web app or ArcGIS Online, and then click on the Business Analyst app. You can get a free trial for that. Now we want to do that. First thing you want to do is to map potential store locations. So the actual managers, they already have narrowed down the preferred locations to two options, both of which have suitable facilities. They have now asked you, a location analytics manager for the Minneapolis-St. Paul metropolitan area, to help them decide which site would be the best. In reality, you may not have those two options. You may take another route, which is looking to geographic areas. But in this case, we have two options. We just basically compare these two options together. So first, sign into Business Analyst. Click on that. Sign in with your credentials. After you're signed in, you are going to be at the home page. So you need to create a new project. So click on the Create a New Project. You may actually see a window that kind of first time when you use it, it's going to pop up. You can close that. So we want to provide the project name. So what project you want to create, we just call it LITGL, and then click Create. A new project is being created, so it may take some time to finish that. After the project is created, click on OK and open the project. So you may have different locations zoomed in, doesn't matter. This is the base map. You can zoom out. We are going to zoom into a specific location, which is going to be our sample area. And then we run our analysis. So let's just go back to the instruction. On the setting, you can change that base map to something else if you have some other preferences. For example, let's just select topographic, and then we want to zoom to an area which is going to be Minneapolis. So let's just take care of it. Change the base map, select topographic, and here under search bar you want to zoom to a boundary or area, and we put the Minneapolis. So right now it is zoomed to Minneapolis. And remember, we had two sites we want to compare it. So what we can do right now is to add two sites and then run our analysis for those two. So we want to add a pin for two addresses. First thing would be this address. So I'm going to just copy and paste that. Go back here, clear that, change that to add a pin, and in the search for location, I put that address. So what happens is going to add that pin to that location. And this is the Carter site. So we can rename that to make sure that we can actually identify that later on. So that's the name we wanted to give it to. So let's just go back and we want to add the site name. Remember that was the site name and press enter. Site name is created and you can click on create site. And here you can create drive time buffers. So we want to only create a 10-minute drive time. You can add more options, but we want to use the default options for now. So select a few options and apply. Very similar to this one, right? So it is going to create a 10 minutes drive time for the Carter site. What that means that in that area, based on the previous traffic patterns, based on the actual accessibility, it takes 10 minutes to get to that point, to the center point here. And that is the site 1 or the Carter site. Next site that you want to add a pin and just repeat the same process is going to be that address. So just copy and paste the address and add another pin for that. And I can just search. Now I need to add the name for it. So we want to call it the Steers site. And of course, same drive time buffer, which is going to be 10 minutes. So first add the site name, press enter, and click on create site, select drive time, and leave only 10 minutes and hit apply. So now we have two sites, the Carter and Steers site. I can just close that menu, which are kind of close together, but not overlapping a lot. And we have created 10 minutes drive time for each one. Perfect. So now we have two sites. We can do some competitive analysis. And to do that, we need to find out what are the other home improvement stores. And is there any large shopping center that bring customers to the area, right? So it's very important to know if there is a foot traffic close by. Also, which locations has the most favorable competitive environment overall. So we want to click on the create maps and then choose business facilities search. And in the business facilities search, we want to find a category for home improvement. And that is our focus. So let's just go back here. I can close that window and select create map, business and facilities search. And here I can look into the categories. I can just paste that home improvement, search for it. And as you can see, it is going to give me some options. So now it's very important to be able to limit these options to find the right type of competition. And the numbers show how many of them are in that location. So we want to change the sale volumes minimum to $5 million. So we don't care about the smaller ones. So right here, the sales volume, we want to change that to $4 million. Didn't limit a lot, but still much better. Now, the filter applied and some of the competitions are really not showing up because we limit the smaller one. We don't want to look at the smaller ones. So we'll look at that as the way to filter out non-competitions for us, right? And the next thing we want to do is change that symbol for the business facilities search. And we want to change the color to blue and make it a little bit different. So if you click next here, that's where your symbol is displayed. So I can change that symbol to something else. So let's just change the color to the blue color, I believe. And then click done. And finally, we want to save the layer. And for the name of the layer, we want to call it Home Improvement Centers over $4 million. Right. So hit done, next, save layer, and I can just paste that. It's very critical to provide accurate descriptions because next time we have maybe another project or we want to still work on this project later on, we can find the right layer. We don't have to go through the process one more time. Next, we can export that list to an Excel file. And let's just open it up. Just take a look at the information. So we have this business names, the address, the SIC code, employees, the sales volume. Everything is more than $4 million in the square footage, and of course, other attributes for that. And when you're finished, you can hit done. So I'm done. Great. I can just close that tab as well. Now we want to create reports for these two sites. Remember, we want to make comparisons. So click on the report and then run the classic report. So let's just go here, select reports, and you have so many different options, but we want to just select right now the classic report. And then many times you can also customize these reports. Already two sites are selected. Remember, we made these two sites. Great. So these are the things. If we not selected, we can add them to the sites that we want to create reports for. And then we can select the reports to run, but we want to make sure that we choose the right variable for that, and then of course run it. But let's just select the major shopping center map, retail market potential, and retail marketplace profile reports. So if you scroll down, the major shopping center may not be available for everyone, so we can skip that. What we wanted to add is the first the site map, then retail market potential, then retail marketplace. And these are going to be added here, and you can just run all of the reports. Or you can just create all in one PDF report. And of course, you can take a look at the credit estimate. You can see it's going to consume almost 60 credits. Let's just run it. And then you can take a look at every one of these reports for both sites. For example, let's just open up the retail market potential for the first site. So you can take a look at demographic summary, some of the consumer behaviors, their spending, their behavioral patterns on different aspects of their consumer market. And another thing, you can open up for the retail marketplace. We can open that report as well. Or you can take a look at retail gap, the LS factor, the supply demand, and I think this is very important. And these are the 2017 data sets. Of course, the retail market profile, but still very useful. And you can take a look at the, and it's going to give you an option to download all of them. You can take a look at the site map. We didn't have any specific data for that. It's just going to show us the map of that location, kind of where it's located, and a couple of maps to display. Might be useful when you create a all-in-one report. Perfect. So we made all these reports. Now we can make some comparison, looking at the retail gap values and building materials, garden equipment supply store category is the industry group in which that we are more interested in. So we can take a look at the demand column, and then it's going to help us a lot. So in the steers market area, supply is reported to be around 222 million in that category. Demand is 126. So we have a surplus of supply compared to the demand. In the Carter, supply is 185 and demand is 165, much closer. So the gap is 20 compared to a much larger gap in the steers market. The bid ratio and the higher demand are in the Carter area, which has a lower supply level, but still has there in my 9 million more in demand compared to the other market. You can close the marketplace profile and then open the retail market potential report and take a look at the information that is provided here. Looking at the home category, report display number of households. You can take a look at psychographics category that shows the intentions or willingness of household in the area to considering the specific product quality, and help us to identify which market is a better market. Of course, the higher the index value, the better. That's what we want. And based on these two reports, we need to make the decision. This is going to be the job we do. And we look at the market demand, we look at the ratio of supply versus demand, and also we focus on the specific industry we're looking into. So we can say Carter has probably more favorable options, and it is much more active retail market. So probably we can identify that as a possible offering for our customers. So this is a process that helps you identify or compare two different markets together. And in another type of scenario, you may want to use another type of process and business analyst to kind of limit your search to certain areas. If you don't know those, then you can do that. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I'll see you in future videos.